What if I told you that one of the very first commands you probably ever learned in Linux is also one of the most misunderstood? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the touch command and see what's really going on when you type those 5 little letters and hit enter. Now, if you're anything like me when I first started out, you probably look at touch and think, oh yeah, that's easy. It just makes new files. It's kind of the go-to for creating a quick, empty file, right? And look, you wouldn't be wrong, but that's really only half the story. And honestly, it might not even be the most important half. There's a much deeper, much cooler purpose to this seemingly simple command. So let's kick things off by busting a pretty common myth, this whole idea that touch is just a one-trick pony. As you're about to see, it is anything but. This right here, this is the common belief. You need a file, you type touch, you give it a name, and boom, you've got your file. It's simple, it's effective, and yeah, it's totally true. But it's also just the very, very tip of the iceberg. So what's really hiding under the surface? Well, it's time to reveal the 3, let's call them magic uses of the touch command. That's right, this one little command actually has 3 distinct and really useful functions all packed into it. So let's break them down one by one so you can really master this thing. Okay, so magic use number 1 is the one we all know and love. If a file doesn't already exist, Touch will go ahead and create it for you. It's brand new, 0 bytes, ready for you to use. No surprises here, right? For instance, you type touch shoppinglist.txt, hit enter, and bam, you've instantly got a file where you can start jotting down what you need from the store. This is touch in its most basic, most familiar form. But hey, what if one file just isn't enough? Well, that brings us to use number 2, which is where touch starts to become a real time saver. You can use it to create a whole bunch of files all at once. And here's the trick. Check out this command. By using those curly braces with a number range, it's a shell feature called brace expansion, you can tell Touch to make multiple files in a single shot. So, touch photo 1.10.jpg. That instantly creates 10 files, from photo 1 all the way through photo 10. It's so much faster than doing it one by one. And now, we get to use number 3. Okay, this is the real magic. This is the core reason Touch was created, and it's the part that so many people miss. Its main job is updating a file's timestamp. This slide shows it perfectly. So imagine you have a file you last worked on yesterday. If you run Touch on that existing file, nothing inside it changes. The content is exactly the same. The only thing that changes is its last modified time, which gets updated to right now, this very second. Okay, so why in the world would you want to do that? Why would you want to pretend a file was just edited? Well, let's look at a few practical little magic tricks you can pull off with this knowledge. So let's talk real-world uses. Of course, you can create a new file like a diary, but the real clever stuff is about manipulating existing files. For example, some programming build scripts are designed to only recompile files that have recently changed. So by just touching a file, you can trick that script into running its process again, without you actually having to change any code. Or you could force a backup system to resync a file by just updating its timestamp. The system sees it as new and makes sure it gets saved. It's a really subtle but super powerful way to control all sorts of automated processes. So how does Touch pull this off so fast? How does it do this without messing with the file's contents? Let's take a quick peek behind the curtain to see exactly how the trick works. And here's the secret. It's all about metadata. The touch command is incredibly lightweight because it never ever actually opens the file or looks at the data inside. All it does is send a tiny little message to the operating system's file system that just says, hey, for this file right here, could you please update its access and modification times to right now? And that's it. That's the entire operation. So here's the big takeaway, the most crucial point of all this. Touch is a timestamp tool first and foremost. That is its primary job. Its ability to create a new file? That's just a convenient side effect. It only happens when you try to update the timestamp on a file that doesn't exist yet. The system basically says, well, I can't update a file that isn't here, so I guess I'll just create it for you first. And there you have it. Your understanding of Touch is now officially complete. I hope you'll join us next time when we're going to stare right into the abyss and tackle RM, which is, arguably the scariest and most powerful command in all of Linux. You are not going to want to miss that one.